I am going to plagiarize. I heard my priest give a great homily the other day, and it really got me thinking. And he was talking about the narrow gate. And when we go through the narrow gate, obviously it's going to be harder than going through the wide gate, but he applied it in a way that I hadn't really thought about it. He said, the narrow gate isn't just bells and roses, it's thorns. It is sacrifice because we could go to the wide gate where we're not bumping into anybody. There's roses, it's gold strewn. When you go to the narrow gate, you get the thorns. It's thinner, so they're touching you. There's not room for a couple people on the path. And so he connected the narrow gate with sacrificing. And I have done videos before, and the Lord really talks to me about sacrifice because the words, I believe, Latin in for sacra means holy, and ficia means to make. So to sacrifice for something or someone means to make holy. And so what he talked about, geez, it sticks with me. He probably thinks I'm rude because I'll grab my phone and I'll like text myself while he's talking. But I'm like, I'm really taking notes, Father. I really am. And he talked about sacrificing things like your eating, your spending, your sports. Don't watch that NASCAR race. Don't watch that football game. Give up a day of playing a sport, unless, of course, it's, with the family or something. Give up that extra meal, that extra sweet, that extra pair of shoes you were going to buy, that extra anything. And he said, he made me think about this as like the lifestyle of fasting that we live. Fasting is food. We've gotten a lot of people tell us that we can fast from other things. And I even used to say that. And my dear friend Christine Watkins and I were talking, and she corrected me and said, no, fasting is only from food and drink, the stuff that goes in the body. But this other stuff is still a form of, it does the same thing in one sense that fasting does, because it causes us to sacrifice my desires for that extra food, that extra cheeseburger, going out for a meal. It has me sacrificing my pleasures of watching that sport, of buying that item. And Father reminded me that was the narrow road. And that's something you can do all year, not just during Lent. And I do need to remind you, because again, it's 2024. I grew up in the, late 70s, early 80s, where they stopped talking about things like purgatory and hell, really. There really is a purgatory. It's may or may not be a place, but it's a process of pain and purging and cleansing. You are forgiven, whether you're Protestant or Catholic, and you say, I told the Lord, I'm so sorry. That forgives. But there's still the reparation that needs to be made for the thing that you are sorry for. For instance, don't break that window, don't throw that ball, don't throw that ball, don't throw that ball. You throw the ball, you're disobedient, you break the window. It's like, ugh. So you feel really bad. You go tell the neighbor, tell the parent, I'm sorry I broke the window. You can just apologize and you can be forgiven. That's what we do when we ask God for that. But we forget that second half, that window needs to be fixed. Someone's got to pay for it. When we die, I don't care how much you judge me, how much you think purgatory may or may not exists. I have some Catholics questioning that, let alone the Protestants watching. I'm saying, do your research. Look into the words of Christ and the apostles. And no, he's not going to say purgatory, but he also doesn't say Trinity. Use your intellect. Listen to what the church fathers have said. They point to purgatory in the Bible in many places. And so it is painful, painful. And I don't want to burn off my sins in purgatory. I have a friend who's in prison. He killed a woman and he's so remorseful. And I could tell you, I'm going to do some video. I'm actually writing a book, but about how remorseful he is. And the little bit of time they'll give Thanksgiving, they'll get like a real turkey leg instead of something fake. He will give it away because he said, I want to fast in honor of the person I killed. He wants to make amends while he's here on earth. And I say, do all you can. If you never get out of prison, it's better than purgatory. Take the punishment here and now. He knows that, by the way. So to each of you watching, if you have to suffer, pay the price of your sins here, kind of wash off the Just make the, I'm forgetting the word. It's not washing off the stain of sin because that's what you do when you confess. It's just making amends. Do it here. Skip on the pleasure in your belly, in your eyes, an activity. Do something painful. Mow the lawn for someone even though your feet hurt. Shovel snow in the winter even though you have Renault syndrome and your hands get cold. And give God that sacrifice. That, you guys, is the narrow road. It's the path less taken. It's a great homily. I hope it did you justice, Father. He doesn't know that I plagiarized him. Actually, I just plagiarized the first part. Most of the rest was mine. I want to do the narrow road. I don't want to go on the wide road, but it's not going to be easy. I need your help, and you probably need mine. So let's do this together. I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. Thanks for watching Breakfast with Bacon. And as always, remember to live your life sunny side up.